Hey, Break Chains family. Welcome back. I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. To be perfectly honest with you, it is going to be a while before I post another video on YouTube. I don't know what the next video is going to be. It's going to be a surprise to all of us. I will continue to post old videos and old clips of those videos on Facebook, and I will continue to make Facebook posts whenever I feel up to it. I am still in the process of working some things out and trying to draw closer to God to make sure that going forward, this ministry is and myself is fully submitted to God, and that I am providing him his very best. I am not just being obedient for the sake of being obedient, but my heart is into it. And I don't want to say like the other videos I posted before, my heart was into it, but I definitely was not giving God his best. It was kind of like, I don't really want to do this, but I'll post a video, and whatever quality it is what it is. So God has been showing me putting up a mirror and just showing me the areas that I'm working on. I'm not thinking about anyone else but myself. I'm not concerned about what anyone else is doing but me right now. But I did want to just address that and just let you know, if you don't see me for like a month or two on YouTube, that is the reason. Everything is good. I would suggest, if you want to just stay up to date, just follow the page on Facebook. I don't know if there's any, I think that's all the housekeeping that I want to do at this point. I'm just going to get straight into it. As you see, the title of this video is me exposing myself. I feel like I expose myself a whole lot, that I don't need to really expose myself any further, but God suggests otherwise. I said it before, I said it again. I really don't like telling my business. So I've been telling my business for 10 years now. Going on 11, it'll be 11 in September. And I don't think it's something that I will ever get used to. So with that being said, I am going to just get straight into it. So the this series, Case of the Fake People, I said it before, I said it again, I'm not exempt from it, right? There's some things that I clearly need to work on, and I needed to work on even when I made that video. Honestly, I need to do some more editing on the video, but I am so whooped by that message that I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it buck. I'm keeping it a bean. I'm not gonna hold you all that. I'm keeping it 100. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm gonna be real. I don't want to look at that video no more. But this is I guess to I guess the reason, not I guess, I know the reason why God is telling me to talk about this is that to understand that what I said in the first video was never coming from a place of judgment, or like, oh, I'm above you, or, like I'm so much better. No, we all fall short of the glory of God. If that's what you got from those two videos, I apologize for that, that you misunderstood it, but not what I said. Another thing is the title, like, I guess I'm fake now what? This is just a title. I have a very weird sense of humor. It's more so like a tough sense of humor. So it's not like, oh, I think you're fake or whatever. It's more attention grabbing. Let's just be real. All of us are drawn to drama. If it wasn't the case, there wouldn't be a such thing as reality shows or even soap operas or dramas, for that, for that matter. So we all like drama. So I feel like I know for in the past, if people think you're talking about them, they will watch. Ooh, I'm gonna watch. Okay. Is it clickbait? No, it's just a way to grab your attention and just like really focus and zero in on the message. I'm a little self-conscious about my nails. I feel like every time I record the video, something's going on with my nails. The last video that I recorded, it had, I think I had like just cooked something with turmeric. My nail was yellow. I was like, ew. Like, you probably think I'm disgusting. This time, I dyed my hair black. As soon as I turned 30, had grays all up and through here, right? Yeah. It's yeah. And so I have to dye the front because my face looks 16 and my hair makes me look like I'm 50. So I'm like, okay, it's a mismatch. Let me at least try to stay looking young as long as I can. What else? Yeah. So the reason why I can't speak on doing stuff in the church will come back beyond tenfold is because before I joined the church, in the video, I'm coming clean, like coming clean, that series, when I talk about my testimony, I went a little bit in detail of how I used to be before God transformed me completely. Now, this transformation did not it was not overnight. I wouldn't say that I was fully transformed. I had all of that out of me until like I would say 2019. That's the last time that I got baptized. That's when I was like, okay, I really can't do this anymore, right? And I'll explain what anymore is, right? Think of Rihanna. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm faithful. I never cheated on anyone, but I definitely have not been faithful to God and my feelings toward, romantic feelings towards men, right? So, I went in a little detail of how I was. I left one part out because honestly, I'm in the church. I have a sneaking suspicion that some people already know this situation because some of you men's was on, it was you was chasing it, and it wasn't it was the L word, but it wasn't love. And I know that for a fact because you never expressed it. It was never, I can tell it was never coming from love. I told you I can understand everything except for love. But with that being said, I don't know how else to say it. So I'm going to try to say it, keep it as Christian as possible, but also keep it as raw as possible. Not trying to sugarcoat it, not trying to paint myself in a better light than I actually was. But yeah, so God had been dealing with me since 2006 about how I've been like treating men. I got raped when I was 16 by a stranger. In 2007, I was sexually abused by my stepbrother, like immediately after. Also, I left the grandma who raised me, which was my maternal grandma, on top of that. So I became the female version of a womanizer, which is a man eater. I don't like to say man eater because I'm bigger and, people want to make weird jokes or whatever. But essentially, that's what I was. I was a female player. Even one of my brothers said my sister has better game than most of you men out here. So to give you an illustration of how bad it was, my brother, who is quiet, who keeps himself, doesn't talk to anyone, this is the one with kids. One time a gentleman came to the door. He knocked on the door in the morning and he brought me my sunglasses. Mind you, I had been in his house the night before. That was not my boyfriend. We were not in a relationship. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sure you guys can read between the lines, right? So, with that being said, I am going to be completely honest. When my brother addressed me and say, "Hey, you got this man coming over here, bringing your sunglasses." And he kept emphasizing that, and I'm just sitting here hungover, like, what? Like, I don't get like what he's like. You need to cut this out. You need to stop. You need to stop what you need to stop this. You need to cut this out. And I just thought like he was like saying like you need to stop like, oh, it is what it is, being promiscuous. but that's not what he was saying. Like, basically, like, whatever you're doing, whatever game you're spitting, you got this man who's not your boyfriend bringing your sunglasses. Now that I'm on 30s, I understand the magnitude and why he got so upset as a brother. Basically, you need to cut this mess out. And I'm just like, whatever. So, I ended up, like I said in another video, dealing with someone who was like me. That was God giving me like my first warning shot. I did not pay attention. I didn't pay attention. So I ended up getting baptized. And I knew fully what I was getting baptized for. God's like, okay, you can't be doing this to these men. You can't be playing mind games. You can't be, saying you love people, you don't mean it. And then if you do love the person and they express how they feel, you need to, warm it up and, say it back. Because you're praying, you're asking me to do these things and I'm doing them, and yet you're not fulfilling it, and it's messing up their relationship with me. You're making me look like a liar, and God is not mocked. He's not mocked. He's not. I know that from experience. You don't make a fool out of God. He would definitely make a huge fool out of you. So anyway, so with me getting baptized in church, I was supposed to put aside my player ways. I was supposed to hang up my jersey, so to speak, which I did for the most part. But I got triggered. I ran across a guy. We're gonna say we had a mutual friend who introduced us. Whatever. Trying to say this as Christian as I can. And of course we had relations. We were intimate. And I remember reading the Sabbath school book lesson with my mom, and it was talking about how I show love, show the fruits of the spirit and all that. That was God trying to stop me from going back to my player ways. But of course I'm like, no, I always got to get my lit boo. I always got to get them back. I always got to put them in check. So yeah, as I'm, conversating with the guy, and if I was waiting, longer than a day to sleep with people, I would have found out that he was actually connected to the Adventist church. He had went to one of the church schools. Am I going to say which church school? No, because y'all some investigators. Again, I have a sneaking suspicion that some of y'all already know, because y'all can't hold water, and Adventist is a very small community. So when he said it, I was like, oh snap, I'm caught. It finally caught up to me, right? Because I'm in church. I got baptized for it, so I can't say that I wasn't convicted of it. I was fully aware. And long story short, I did the same old scene that you've seen for so long. Yeah, I did that. I did play him. He did tell me how he felt, and I made up every excuse not to tell him how I felt back. He went as far as, if you're in Tampa, I really don't want to tell this part because it sounds like I'm advertising, and I'm not advertising. I promise you. Do not try to slide in my DMs after this and try to holler. It's not gonna go well for you. You better pray I be Christian about it, because I'm out the mood. Okay, I'm 33 and single. Not in the mood. Fast forward, whatever. So he ended up, one night that we're kicking it. That's how I'm going to put it, Christian terms, for the sake of this video. This is hard for me. I did not want to talk about this. This is something I really didn't want to tell anybody. He went as far as, if you live in Tampa, there are duplexes on 22nd that is between Bears and Fletcher. I think it kind of circles around onto Bears, like on the side. It's not like a straight shot. But anyway, if you're from Tampa, you know what I'm talking about. And I was utilizing my mother's car at that time. And the guy had a bike, and he decided that he was going to actually ride his bike. Mind you, I have my car, and write it. He did write it. He wrote it all the way to Red Lobster on Bush, right? And he called me on his way back for me to come meet him or whatever. And he's just grinning, smiling, and his homeboy's in the car like, dude, she got a car, right? And then I'm just sitting there smiling, not even get everything's going over my head. Honestly, I didn't understand the magnitude of this until I got to my 30s. Like, whoa. Like, he had serious feelings. And he even said, he's like his homeboy was like, oh, I hear wedding bells. And I was just like, I didn't take it seriously because I just, at that point in time, I didn't put sex and love together. I thought if a guy had sex with you, he can't love you. So, yeah. I still have some issues with intimacy, fear of intimacy as far as romantic feelings. I'm working on that. Anyway, so this is 2009, mind you. And of course, he found out I was full of it. I was I was upfront about how manipulative I was. So once once a guy found me out, I didn't try to like make them feel, oh baby, no, that's not. No, I'm like, okay, you found me out, and I just stopped communication. But I knew I was dead wrong for that, and because he was connected to the church, my family found out. To be honest with you, at this point, as far as I know, that I'm aware of, I didn't really have a reputation that in them streets like that until I dealt with him. And I know it's because God was shielding me. He was holding back grace and mercy. But since he specifically told me not to do that sin anymore, and he specifically what am I trying to say? He specifically had convicted me of that and tried to convict me of that before. And I was in the church and I was baptized and I was supposed to know better. He removed, and I felt that. It's to this day, I have to be honest when I'm in the workplace. Yeah, I can tell when people have heard about me, when they heard rumors, and it's very embarrassing. It's not cool because, I have men chasing me, and I have to decipher if it's because you actually like me or did you hear something and it's just lust. So I'm very embarrassed by that. My family found out. The same brother with the kids who confronted me before grabbed his head and was like, what are you doing to these people? Like, what, what's going on? Like, as a brother, it's like, what, like, you got to doing, like, what you got got his nose wide open. I even, to this day will not pass out tracks at, I'm going to stop right there before you put it together. I'm gonna stop right there because, like I said, you having this, y'all some investigators. I know somebody will. Y'all find him and y'all will get him and have him do it. So I'm saying on this video, if you watch it, I am sorry. Okay, I was very messed up. Have been raped back to back. Just was not in a good headspace. It was not you. It was definitely me. There's nothing you could have did differently. I was still gonna react that way. So I continue to get rebaptized for the same thing. Now, in my defense, when I was in church getting rebaptized, between 2010 and I guess 2015, I knew God just told me that I need to accept his love through men, but I didn't know specifically who he was talking about at that time. I was completely clueless during that time. I want to make that perfectly clear. That was not me putting on an act. I honestly didn't know what the heck was going on. I still don't. I don't like to talk about my personal life, but honestly, I went on a date and I got tricked into it. I got deceived. And if you know me personally, then that's a real possibility. Okay? I was just going to an event And I told the person, I just want to go as an ally. I'm not trying to make it like that. Well, he made it like that, and I didn't realize until after the fact. And then he confirmed it to me. He's like, well, if I pay it, it's a date. And I'm just like, no, I didn't really want this to happen, because I'm not, I'm leaving it at that, because I'm not trying to embarrass nobody. But it was not my intentions for that to be a date, or for that relationship to go that way. I'm single. It was just a one time thing. It was a date, so nothing came of it. But still, just to show you, I'm still going over my head. But I'm saying all that to say, I do understand doing stuff in church. Me saying that when you do stuff in church, you come back on tenfold. I know that from experience, because of what happened to me, what I did. When God really convicts you of something and you continue in that sin, He's not going to hold back grace and mercy. He's going to let you face the consequences, because at this point you are blatantly disrespecting Him. Right? And I want to say this to anyone. If you ever watch a video or you read a post and you feel triggered, or and past trauma is coming up by what I'm saying, I think that is not think I know for a fact that's the Holy Spirit telling you that you need to deal with that trauma and not shoot the messenger or anyone else, or just kick the dog. We have a tendency to want to lash out at people who we're not really angry at, because we don't want to deal with the situation at hand, because it's just a little too painful. And I'm saying that from experience, because when I was on my social media thugging, I was clapping back and getting angry because of the fact that, now some of those posts were, if I kept it up, God told me to post it. If I took it down, that means I was being petty. That's because the situation when I was embarrassed by a guy, and I said I wasn't going to talk to it on a public platform, but not for some reason, God wants me to talk about it, because I really need to truly heal. I need to forgive that individual. I want to make this 100% perfectly clear, and I'm not trying to shade him. I'm not trying to make him feel bad at all. Just not trying to get my lick back, because if I did, I would tell you a bunch of stuff that y'all don't even know about him, right? If that was me trying to get my lick back. But I'm saying this right now. I don't have feelings for him in that way. I have no romantic feelings for him. Those feelings have been gone for years. Call me crazy, but I only like people who are nice to me, who can admit that they actually have feelings for me, and not deny it and try to make it all one-sided on me. You got so many times before you're gonna embarrass me before I'm like, okay, you don't value me. You don't. If you keep embarrassing someone over and over, you don't value them. Especially if the person is not doing anything back to you, then at that point you're just a bully. And he did it for so long, and he did it so much, that honestly I don't feel like I could ever really look at him in that way ever again. It's just hard for me to get over, because I didn't process it at the time, because people made me feel like anything I felt at that time, I was crazy, because that's how he painted me out to be. And two, I just tried to it was just so painful. I just stuffed it down and just told myself I forgave him, or I'm over it, and I'm not. Because every time that something comes up with a guy, or I have to be vulnerable, I go back to that situation and I have extreme anxiety. Or like something that's very small, that isn't like that big of a deal, like people are going to be manipulative, I take it really personal, and I think back to that situation, and my mental health takes a serious toll. So I am in the process of forgiving him. I can tell even just by me doing this video and not having to pause or having to redo this portion of when I'm talking about him, that I am coming to terms and I'm letting go what he did. It was just very difficult for me, because my people treated me very differently because of it. My own family talked about me like a dog, but that's more on my family than it is on him. So I faced a lot of persecution because of that, and it was very hurtful what that individual did. Um, and then there have been and were guys, I'm saying it plural, so if it applies to you, then you need to put the shoe on and wear it. If it doesn't apply to you, then I'm not talking about you. But there were guys at that time and even after the fact who felt like I should tolerate their stuff. Like, oh, basically, you let him get away with it, you let him tolerate it. First of all, because of the guilt that I felt and the conviction I felt by how I did guys in my past, I felt like I was forced or I had to make it up with him. I thought like if I was just nice to him, or if I just kept my mouth shut and took the abuse, that somehow that would make up for all the awful things that I did in my past. It was never about him. It wasn't like, oh, I was so deeply in love and I had to have him. What was there to be deeply in love about? This man humiliated me constantly. My self-esteem is not that low that I would put someone on a pedestal who constantly humiliates me and makes me look bad. If you ever want to get rid of me, do that. Okay, I'm gone. Out, right? So, with that being said, I am going to, I'm going to just continue to work on me, and get over this fear of intimacy, that I do see why God allowed that date, because it helped me to see that I did have a fear of intimacy. But yeah, it was that situation with him. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know really why I'm saying this, because I've already said it. But yeah, there's nothing there. I mean, I never know what God's going to do, but I don't think he's going to try to put that together. That individual has never tried to apologize or try to make things right, and I don't feel like he's going to do anything anytime soon to do that. But again, I don't know. I don't know what's in store for God, but as of right now, as of everything that happened, I don't have those feelings towards him. And me personally, if I had my way, he's going to stay in the past, and I just want to move on with my life going forward, and I don't want to bring him or that situation up ever again. And I'm going to do the work to process it, because I really can't spend no more time or give him or that situation any more energy going forward. Okay. As always, there's stuff in the description box. By now, you already know. Again, I will see you when I see you. Take care.